I almost switched to the gaming chat and I said, nope, we're not doing that today. We're doing something different because I wasn't really ready to game today and I'm not quite sure what cozy game I want to go into next. I'm probably going to continue Bookbound, which is the game where you kind of like run a bookstore library type deal on these like more cozy laid back streams. But I'm not quite sure yet. Yet, goodness, where did my voice just go? But I kind of wanted to chill today and then talk about stuff, and we could take some moments to read together. Let me go ahead and get some music set up for myself because you can no longer hear the desktop audio because you don't really need to. I'm just gonna play like some lo-fi in the background. While we do this, you can put on whatever music you want to, but that's what I'm gonna do. Change it to small quality. I said play. Thank you. But I know the thumbnail has this book in it, See You Yesterday, which is the book that I've been reading. But I was out on a bike ride today and I wanted a book to read while I was out. And I realized all too late that I didn't actually put my book in my purse. So I was like, well, I wonder if my Libby app has something I could read right now. And I've been wanting to like reread The Host by Stephanie Meyer because I've read it years ago and I remember leaving it with not so good um not thoughts, but not so good of an opinion. I thought it was just kind of meh. Also, my arms look about as pink as my shirt at the moment. I was a little sunburned before I went out today and I went out again. So if I look like I'm pink as can be and my face looks strange, it's because I'm red. I don't know what it is, but I burn like a redhead. I mean, I know I have some red in my hair, but I haven't had a mom of a redhead yell at me one day to go go back inside because I was red. I'm like, I've been outside for a half hour. She's like, I'm sorry, I just totally mommed a stranger. It's like, hey, you're fine. You're looking out for people. That's a good thing. But oh goodness, I'm feeling it this time though, huh? Like, look. And I also got this really pretty New Testament Bible today. And it's actually got readable sized letters. I can see those. I don't have to go, huh? So I'm gonna read this at some point. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I figured we could, like I do most of these Sunday streams, talk about my previous D&D campaign. And since I'm not actually playing a game while doing it this time, I can actually look at my campaign notes that I took to make it a little easier to keep myself in line. My campaign notes almost got deleted because my brother was messing with me and started typing in my notes and accidentally actually set the note to to like because I take my notes in Discord. He accidentally sent the notes before it was finished with what he randomly typed in it. I was like, no, I needed those. They weren't finished, so I said I had to copy and paste it. And then it was today that I realized I didn't put the pictures back in after I deleted the other copy. Cause I can I collapse this? What I do is I take the notes and I type them out in Discord and then I put pictures. Oh, wrong monitor. You can see what lo-fi I'm watching. Hold on. Um, why is it not switching? Oh, there it is. But you can, that's how I set it up. I put pictures in that are relevant to the campaign just to make things a little easier. I can mute that one, you don't even see it. But I put pictures in it to help with that. Also, if I seem tired today, I haven't slept well the past 3 nights. I got home from my bike ride, ate dinner, and passed out for like 2 hours. But let me put my book away and then I will talk to you guys about my D&D session that happened the other day. So, it was another split up session. And the last split up session that we did was so much fun because the DM did a very good job of splitting us all up equally. And that made it a lot of fun. And there's there was one more character added. So he had one more person to juggle with the screen time. He calls it screen time. He calls it our cable TV episodes because we're flipping back and forth on the channels of each character. So after the events I told you about last week, when our characters came to that island and were attacked by the cult, we all split up. Well, Yuki, my character, was met by the goddess of life and put in like a protective bubble in the forest. My teammates, however, Keyleth, Sarathu, Ida, um, and Numi, were not so lucky. Um, Numi was getting chased by the cult's like brainwashed soldiers that they had. Actually, looking back on it now, I think they were soldiers that had died and then brought back to life because it turns out the cult members were a group of necromancers. So pretty sure they weren't brainwashed. There was just nothing there outside of the commands of the cult because they were dead bodies brought back to life like puppets. So Numi's getting chased by these mindless, presumably zombie soldiers. Um, Sarathu got stabbed by our mentor turned like captain turned like kind of enemy. We're not sure where we stand with Cassius, but Sarathu got stabbed and dragged through like a black dimension, and Keyleth is getting absolutely tortured, killed, and then brought back to life by the cult because they're trying to like I don't know what their goal is with that. They're trying to like cleanse him of all his wrongdoings, which again, none of us but the DM and the one playing Keyleth know what Keyleth did. The rest of us have no idea what landed Keyleth in this sort of punishment. So it's bad. And then Ida, for some reason, the cult's like, you're gonna be a necromancer. You're gonna sit in this room in like a dimension where time is slowed for you. And you're gonna study every single book in this room and you're gonna know it by heart. Because we want you to be a necromancer. And my character's just over there talking to the goddess of life because she's in a protective bubble. And the goddess is like, um, I want you to join me. And she's like, why would I ever join you? For one, I haven't seen my friend Woolbor since he left with you, and the goddess of life is just like, oh, he's right here. Here you go. You can talk to him. And she is told by the goddess of life that the cult that is attacking us all, well, the others, not Yuki, because they can't get to her because of the goddess of life, the cult that is attacking everyone is owned by Cassius. And my character's like, why the heck would he stick a cult on us? What is he testing us? What is happening? So she has that revelation, and she already doesn't trust Cassius, which is why the goddess of life came to her in the first place. Because she is so on the fence about Cassius and his motives and the atrocious stuff that he does. And then the goddess of life just drops the bomb of, oh, Cassius is the leader of this cult. He owns this cult. Huh? I still have no idea where that's gonna go, and neither do the rest of us, because we're not finished with the split up section of the campaign yet, which means we're gonna have another split up session next week. Pretty sure it's next week. It was a little chaotic the last time because my brother was being hyper, but um, it might be another split up campaign. And not only does she tell my character Cassius is the leader of this cult, but also my character asks, well, you're the goddess of life, right? So what happened to my mom? Because her mom was up in the air, just completely gone. My character didn't know if her mom was alive or dead. So she's like, let me just ask the goddess of life, because she would know, being the goddess of life. And the goddess of life says, oh, Cassius killed her. And before she can respond to that, there's a voice pops up behind her. If you're gonna lie to the girl, or if you're gonna tell the girl, you could at least tell the full truth. And of course, my character whips around, and who stands behind her other than Cassius? And clearly, Yuki is furious. She's like, "You killed my mom? Are you kidding? Is she being honest? Did you kill my mom?" And he was like, "I did, and I didn't." And both in character and out of character, I'm like, "What does that mean? You can't, you can't have it both ways. Either you did or you didn't. It's kind of clear cut. Like, what? Did you kill her or not?" And he goes, "I I did because she asked me to." And I was like, bull crap, bull crap. She would not have asked you to do that. And he goes, think about it. You you were gone for 250 years because I put you in this slumber. Your dad was gone, and your dragon Celeste was gone too. She had nothing left. She gave her life so you could have this. And Celeste shows back up, her little pet dragon that was killed. So she still doesn't like Cassius, but she's like, am I missing something here? Like, because he's not honest whatsoever. And I honestly, that was a surprise to me. I did not think the DM would have brought back my character's familiar, because he's very much a they dead, they stay dead. Unless there's a character that I'm controlling that fakes his death. Cassius, I'm looking at you on that one. But I feel like Nick kind of felt bad, who is the DM. Nick kind of felt bad because um he was just taking away people my character felt like cared for all throughout the story. And like my character and me have been the character that's like, let's not do this. Let's not do the bad thing. Can we talk about this? Can you tell me the truth? Can we just be honest here because we're working for you? How do you expect us to trust you when you don't even answer any of our questions and when you don't tell us the truth? And also, I think the goddess of life summoned my character because there was this nature wolf that had showed up, like I told you guys about previously last week. And in this session, my my character convinced everyone not to hurt the wolf or the man with the wolf. So everyone agreed until Keyleth, which is probably part of why Keyleth got the punishment of being hurt, being brought back, being hurt, being brought back, because he's been the one. Like, Keyleth is insane. Keyleth, as a character, is insane. He hears voices, and then things end up dead. And our characters try to stop him. Doesn't always mean we're successful. And it's not. The one playing Keyleth isn't playing Keyleth like a jerk or like a murder hobo. It's part of his backstory, what we don't know yet. He knows, and the DM know, but the rest of us don't know. I don't, well, I don't know if he's told anybody outside of the Discord, but we don't know why Keyleth does what he does. He's just a little crazy hearing voices. And then, while my character's having that revelation, Ada is trapped in this like weird slow motion time slowed dimension with her pet owl Hootenanny, which I think is such a cute name, Hootenanny. Hootenanny for an owl. And she's in this like study library thing with all these books on necromancy, and the leader of the cult, who has like a crow mask, is telling her, "You're gonna learn every single thing in this book. And to motivate you, your owl is here. And if you don't do what we say, we might hurt your owl." And of course, she tries to protest, and the cult just wasn't having it. Fighting back against them is virtually useless at this point in the story. I don't know if things are going to change or if Cassius is going to call them off. I have no idea. Because she got the revelation that he's behind the cult. And when Yuki asked him if that was true, he said, "Yes, they are mine." So again, what the hell, Cassius? What are you doing? So, so Yuki's stuck talking to Cassius and getting all these revelations. Ada is stuck being forced to learn necromancy magic. Why? I don't know, because all the other cults or all the other cult members are already necromancers, from what it seems, because they had all those mindless soldiers. Necromancy is just gross magic. Like, leave the dead lie, let them alone. Um, they're already dead. They don't need they don't need to be brought back into puppeteering. And not to mention, once they die again, they might haunt you for the rest of your life, which would, at that point, I feel like would be deserved. If you want to play that route, you can get haunted for the rest of your life. And I don't mean the gentle kind of nice haunting. I mean the hardcore fright at the edge of your seat all the time kind of haunted. Cause goodness, that's not fair. But each time she's too slow to learn something, the cult members bring in someone else she cares about to hurt them. Like to and They go, there's your incentive to learn necromancy. Bring them back to life. Which is screwed up in so many levels. So she's learning that. Cut to Keyleth, who's trapped in a dungeon, getting absolutely cut off and brought back to life slowly because a and the cult leader is just throwing every terrible thing he's done in his face. From all the bunnies he's hurt, hurting the wolf, attacking innocent sailors. Like, again, Keyleth is insane. And then he's having nightmares on top of the constant torture and dying and coming back to life. And the loop continues. He's having nightmares of horrible things on top of that. And then Sarathu, who ended up in the pool of black ooze, or the black, with the black hand reaching out to him, takes the hand and finds himself in a futuristic city with Cassius there. How he's talking to Yuki while talking to Sarathu, all I can theorize about that is because Cassius has powers of time, he's able to kind of be in multiple time zones at once, multiple timelines. And he took Sarathu to this futuristic city with these. If you've ever seen Spider-Man, think of Venom, but just black. No Venom face, no Venom mouth. Just the creature Venom itself, like the symbiote itself. There are creatures like that roaming this city, and nary a person, an animal, or anything is in sight. And Cassius tells Sarathu that these creatures, these black-blooded creatures, are a plague on the world. And no matter what I try to do, these creatures destroy the world. But you could be the cure for that because you have the abilities of these creatures because I made you have the ability of these creatures. I orchestrated your birth. And I set you up to be cursed to have this ability over the black blood so you could help cure it. And Sarathu's like, my parents were in a cult. Like, my parents were in a cult. They did this to me for some weird ceremony thing. And Cassie's is just like, yeah, I know. I orchestrated that. Which again, what the heck? Like, what the heck? and, and then Numi is just still getting chased through the woods. Um, I can't see the YouTube chat. There we go. Necromancy is often played as anti-theist of life. So maybe the necromancy cult is because his next target is the life goddess. I no, that wouldn't make sense. Because she already has power over life. And if she has power over life, she's probably going to be one of the harder ones for Cassius to have killed. Because life is literally her domain. I'm not saying there's not a way to kill her. Because everything has a weak spot. You just have to find it. But, I don't know. Necromancy wouldn't make sense. Because she could probably already come back. Unless there's some special item we gotta find to do that. Maybe that's Yuki's deal. Because I was sitting there after the campaign, right? We're all split up. We're all going through our own, like, what the hell moments. Although Yuki's getting the easy part of this deal, which I kind of felt bad about. I felt bad for the other players. I'm like, why am I getting the easy route here? And the DM was literally like, I have shit on your character repeatedly. I have made you watch your character's father die. I've killed your dragon. I've taken friends from you. You have gotten the short end of the stick in this campaign with your character losing things and people that she cares about. And now you just found out your character's mom, is dead on top of that. But now you have your dragon back, at least, so that's +1. So in a weird way, my character kind of has her dragon, her dad, and her mom back. Because the story behind Celeste, my character's dragon familiar, is her dad, a bestiary um, professor at the college we were studying at before everything went to hell, quite literally, um, was on an expedition, and she went with him, and they found the body of a dead dragon. And among the body was a dragon egg. So they excavated it, and my character's dad was like, "Here, Yuki, this is yours to take care of now. You raise this dragon and raise it well." So he gave her the dragon, and then her mom gave her life to give Yuki the dragon back. So now she has like all three of them back, which is kind of sad but bittersweet. Not to say that she wouldn't miss her parents, obviously, but the DM's like, "You made a character with parents," and I said, "Nope." "You made a character that actually had family and ties," and I said, "See ya." As soon as I told him that my parents were both going to be teachers at the school, because my character's dad was the bestiary like herbalist professor, and her mom was a combat teacher and a strategist teacher. As soon as I told the DM that, he was like, "I already knew I was gonna kill him. I already knew they were gonna die." I was like, "Thanks." The ritual before becoming a lynch involves the slaughter of tens of thousands of living beings. So maybe the cult is trying to make the PC into a lynch, like how Celeste made you into an angelic dragon thing. Well, who do you think is are the cults trying to turn into a lich? Because I don't think that's where it's going. Because my theory is, and I don't know if you were awake for this because you got quiet and you stayed on call way longer than you should, or way longer than when everybody left. So I think you were asleep by the time we discussed this. But my theory on that is Cassius is playing our characters like pieces on a chessboard. He needs each of our characters to perform a certain thing, like setting up Ada to be a necromancer, and setting like the cult's weird thing with Keyleth where they're forcing him to relive and literally come back to life as they kill him off every time he does. They're trying to cleanse him of his old self and like literally we're gonna break you to reforge you type of deal. But they're setting Ida up to be a necromancer. They're setting Sarathu up to be the cure because he already has the abilities over Black Blood. And Yuki, I think, might have ties to life somehow, or take life's power for herself, if Cassius would allow that. Because my character has had run ins with life throughout this entire campaign so far. So that might be what's being set up for my character. Because if that's not the case, then I feel like my character feels very out of place. The player characters they are currently tormenting, that's who I think. What? Say again? Oh, You think they're trying to turn Keyleth into a lich? But why would they be forcing him to face everything he'd done previously? In a weird way, I think they think that they're purifying Keyleth of all his actions, like making him a whole new person. But if that's the case, what is Keyleth's thing? Because he's not the necromancer, because that's Ada. Nick, the DM, is gonna come in to these streams one time, and I'm gonna be mid talking about the campaign. He's just gonna be sitting there like, I know everything. You know nothing. You can only speculate. You can only guess. You can only hope. But I really don't know. I don't know. It's so off the rails, I'm not sure. The only one I'm sure about is Sarathu, and that's only because Nick straight up said, "You're a cure for this shit. You're the cure. I made you the cure, whether you like it or not." And also, who the hell is the Dragon Rider? Why is he all of a sudden helping? He kills Bartholomew and then it's like, "Sarathu, come with me." I wouldn't be surprised if Cassius orchestrated Bartholomew's death too. Wouldn't put it past him. Should we trust Cassius? Probably not. I mean, Bartholomew wasn't even a god anymore, so he shouldn't have been on the hit list. But still was powerful, but nowhere near as powerful as Cassius. And Cassius proved that plenty of times because he stopped Bartholomew in his tracks like he was nothing. So, I don't know. I don't know. Wulbor's a turtle. We already had a picture of what the NPC for the dude looks like. I could I could show you the NPC for the Dragon Rider. Let me save the picture. I when I when I saved the picture for this originally, I just called him Evil Villain. Polymorph spells exist. I don't think Nick would let it play like that, especially because the the one playing Wulbor is playing another character already, playing Ida, who is his character at the moment. So I don't think that would be the case. Let me here. I could just pop this right in here. This is the Dragon Rider. Eh, this is what the Dragon Rider looks like. No, dragon. So unless it is a polymorph spell, which I don't think it is, this is not Wulbor. Wulbor's a turtle man. Wulbor's a turtle man. Yes. Um, I could show you what Celeste looks like. Here's my little dragon. Boop. It is so easy to put pictures in here. There's my little angelic dragon. Wrong one. Right here. Angelic dragon. That's Celeste. I didn't make any of these pictures, by the way. I just got them off Google. They were just references for my brain. And then here's the city Sarathu was taken to, with all those black-blooded creatures. Sarathu's kind of storyline kind of reminds me of Bloodbending from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I can't wait till he lets me play a monster. You'll see which one we chose. You see which one we chose. He's actually letting you do that. He's letting you actually play one. How's that gonna work? Because your mic doesn't work. Unless you figure out a way to do that. You could. I know what you could do. You could. In Discord, you can record voice messages and send them. so you could hear your voice. There have been plenty of monsters that talk. There have been plenty of monsters that talk. Wow, you can really see my sunburn. It's like lips. I am so burnt. It's so bad. And it's so uneven. Like, I don't know how it gets so uneven. Like, I'm white as a ghost here, and they're red as my shirt on this side of my arms. It's not like I face the same direction all day. I move, but how it gets so uneven. And the links. The links? What do you mean? What do you mean? But I'm excited. Oh, I could show you the wolf too. Here's the wolf that Yuki saw. Pretty. I was gonna say, yeah, that didn't make any sense. But I just let you do your thing. Excuse me. Oh, that's that one. One second. Fury's fun facts. I can't find it. It's not showing up on the Discord on the computer. It's not showing up for me. Weird. Oh, there it is. uh, what am I looking for? You're playing a shadow? How's that gonna work? I don't think that nap helped. You're just like a looming shadow in the background of a horror movie scene. Or like a shadow that just runs across in the paranormal videos. Is that what you're going for? Hogwarts fell, so now the Dementor's room. Makes sense. Are you gonna do the soul sucky thingy? Like if you get us, you're gonna go, or am I not allowed to know that? You said Dementors and it's like, uh-oh, we got a soul eating shadow. Is it the souls that the Dementors eat? Or the memories? Are they memory thieves or soul eaters? Also, I got a new desk friend. I happened to be uptown not too long ago. It's a little dragon. It's so pretty. And it was only $4. Not not like 30 to 40 to 50 like some people charge. So I was like, I really like that dragon. So I'm gonna get it. But yeah, it just sits on the stand of my it sits on the stand of my monitor. Along with my desk friend. And it's happy memories? Ah, so it's a depression monster. It makes people depressed. Makes them want to give up. No kidding. Hmm. That'd be a cool angle. Do you know when you're gonna appear or no? Do you have advance warning or? Because I imagine you're gonna be playing this monster. So are you gonna have advanced warning? I have to sneeze. Whew. I didn't think it was gonna come out. I'm like, don't you do it. Don't you do that. I hate when you feel like you have to sneeze, and then the second you go to sneeze, it just like runs it back and decides not to sneeze. And then you get that weird, almost like you swallowed caffeine, like pop wrong, and you get the weird feeling in your nose. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. But I, Fury, what are your theories aside from the lynch that you think Keyleth's becoming? Which that doesn't make sense to me because if they wanted him to be a lich, right? I'm not shooting down your theory. You could be right for all I know, because who knows with Nick. But the cult said they're trying to, like, essentially reforge Keyleth and rid him of his darker self. So, turning him into a lynch would kind of be counterproductive to purifying Keyleth in their own weird, twisted way that they think they're doing. Because that's what the cult said when Keyleth asked why they were doing what they were doing. And Mr. Crow-Mask is like, oh, we're gonna purify you. And in order to do that, the old you has to die as many times as it takes. And because they're necromancers, for him, that means actually dying. How long that takes him to die in the process is up to the cult members themselves. So Keyleth is essentially being punished for every horrible thing he's done, not only in this campaign, but Season 1, Campaign 1. But the only ones that are obvious to me are Sarathu and and Ida, because they're making Ida study to be a necromancer, and they're and Sarathu was. Mm, I need to blow my nose. Give me a second. Ah, that's better. Cult purification is usually death, and the darker side is usually whatever does not align with the cult. So like the Sith. So like the Sith from Star Wars. Either join us or die. Join us or die. Because the Sith are essentially a cult, yeah? But not that I'm that into Star Wars. But I have no idea what Nick is setting the other characters up for. Because Keyless being purified, for what? To make him a more level-headed assassin? Because he is an assassin. But the voices in his head kind of mess things up. because he doesn't have control over them. Why the voices are in his head, I don't know. None of us know, other than Nick and the one playing Keyleth. Um, so maybe they're trying to rid him of that haunted past to make him a clearer headed assassin. And then they're setting Ida up to bring back the people that Keyleth is assigned to end, to make more soldiers for themselves. But then, how does my character, who has a run in with the Goddess of Life repeatedly throughout both of these campaigns, how does my character slot into that? Because if we already have a necromancer and someone doing the killing to have the necromancer bring them back to make more soldiers for the army, you don't need someone with the power of life because you already have people bringing you back puppets. Unless my character is supposed to keep our soldiers alive. If my character even gets the abilities of the Goddess of Life, I'm not sure about that. But that could be the only thing that works to me, is if Keyleth's the executioner, Ada's the new soldier maker, and I'm the one that's like, let's keep our soldiers that are actually still living already, like, still alive. Let's keep them alive. Whereas Keyleth and Ada are over there making more soldiers, and Sarathu is over there with using his black blood abilities to eradicate the other black-blooded individuals so they can't cause this horrific future that Sarathu was shown. And then that leaves Numi, who's just being hunted down by the cult. Maybe Numi gets the animals on board, but my character is the druid. Unless Numi's a druid too. I'd have to look at that. I'm not quite sure. Can I see that on people's character sheets if I'm a part of their campaign? Let me see. Let me see. D&D Beyond. Hello. Play D&D characters. That shows my characters too. That shows. I should just delete my old Scarlet. I'm never gonna play it. We're never gonna finish that campaign anyway. Aspira never went anywhere. Hold on. How do I see everybody else's character? Do I have to go in? I don't think I can see everybody else's in the campaign. But I'm pretty sure she might be a druid because she has her little elk that she takes care of. Where did my YouTube chat go? There you are. Yeah, that's fair. But that's my theory. Am I correct? Probably not, but that's the best I got. We're pieces on a chessboard, and Cassius is setting our characters up to do certain jobs. Sarathu's the cure, Ada's the necromancer, Keyleth is the one that makes the extra soldiers by taking out the enemy, while Ada brings them back to life for our side to use, and my character helps keep our side alive. If that's not the case, then I have no idea where Nick is planning to take things, because that's the way he's putting the pieces together. That's the only way it makes sense to me. Also, my character is part dragon, even after Celeste gets brought back to life. So that could play a role in what my character does, like getting all the dragons that are still alive years after the big kaboom that Cassius caused to fight alongside us like they did last time. That could be an angle too, if not the life thing, because it wouldn't make sense for Cassius to let me have abilities over life because he wants every single power of the gods and goddesses. And that's another, if he's working so hard to get rid of the gods and goddesses, to take their power, why would he just leave one when he gets it? Because as far as I know, he has abilities over time, not dimensions, unless he knows how to dimension hop. Because I know that multi dimensions are canon in Nick's world, because Bartholomew was from an alternate dimension. And our previous campaign is canon in this story, because Bartholomew's in this, um, not Cassius. Why the fuck? What is his name? What is the one that Sarathur talks to all the time? I played an entire campaign with him, and Clarion, goodness gracious. I was like, I played an entire campaign with him, and I can't remember his name. Clarion was part of our first campaign. Scarlet made an appearance, which was my character of our first campaign. And the other two players weren't part of our first campaign. So, since they are canon, the previous rules apply. So there are other dimensions in this world. But as far as we know, Cassius only has abilities over time, not dimensions. So, but he hasn't really been forthcoming about what his abilities are. He is the son of Lucifer, but that doesn't constitute dimension hopping. That doesn't mean he can just hippity hop dimensions. So, I don't know. Far be it from me to know what Nick is up to in his story. I made a joke earlier, like one of these times he's gonna happen to catch my live stream and pop into me theorizing about D&D and just sit there like a mustache twirling villain, just like, hey, 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 I know everything. You know nothing. You know nothing. And I don't know if it was just the chaos that was happening last session, but this last session was so confusing. It was fun, but so confusing. But my brother was hyper. He was talking over everyone the whole time beside me. He was messing with my notes and almost deleted my entire notes for the session on accident because he sent it without meaning to. And I'm like, don't you dare delete it before I copy and paste it into a new message because I need those. Those are my notes. But my brother was being really hyper that day and would not leave me alone. So I don't know if it was just that chaos happening or if it was genuinely confusing for everybody else. But I'm excited because this session was kind of short because one of us had to go to bed early. But that means we get another split up campaign. How the heck we're gonna get away from the cult unless Cassius doesn't just call it off? I have no idea. Because the only one in a good position at the moment is Yuki. The only one not outnumbered and not fighting for her life or not already trapped is Yuki. As far as I know, she's not trapped. But she's stuck with Cassius. So Cassius could stop the whole cult with probably one flick of a wrist. So, but then again, Cassius doesn't want to hurt her. She has been a bitch to him, though. But can you really blame her? He's been shady as heck this whole time. He's been shady as heck. Anyone that blindly trusted him would be kind of dumb for it. Because he's got motives and he's willing to literally destroy everything just to get what he wants. And that makes him hard to trust. What do you think about Cassius? All you've said is I have thoughts, but you haven't elaborated on those thoughts. What do you think? Because I'm still on the I don't fully trust Cassius train. My bottle looks so nasty. I wash it all the time. Our water has a lot of calcium in it, and it cakes onto things. So don't mind that. My glass is clean, it just doesn't look like it. I literally sat there scrubbing it for 10 minutes one day, and it still wouldn't come off. I'm like, oh, okay. Excuse me. But no, this has been the most fun D&D campaign. I'm glad Nick decided to DM. Like, he can get a little railroady, which if those of you watching don't know what railroading is, the train's on the tracks. It can only follow the tracks. Well, Nick has this whole story he wants to tell. So he kind of nudges our characters to go certain ways, which every character or every DM does that to their characters to an extent. And yes, we have the ability to change things because we sometimes pull moments that the DM didn't even expect. Like like when Yuki, for example, a couple the campaign before the one I'm talking about now, um, a serpent attacked their ship, and Yuki was like, "I've had enough of my home being attacked. I've had enough of the people and things I care about being taken away. We already got attacked once today. I'm not doing this." She turned into a Hulk, dived down the serpent's throat, turned into a dragon in its stomach, and tore and ate her way out of it from the inside, and then ate the serpent when she came out of it. And he had not planned for me specifically to take that action with my character. Like the others have done crazy crap, but usually I'm the more like straightforward, let's just take them out the easy way and call it done. We don't need any fancy kills, just the enemy's down, they're down. But that's because I mainly do that because I'm not big into gore at all. Like, what the fuck was that? I don't know if the stream picked that up, but there was just a big ass boom. It sounded like it was right against my window. The only thing I see is the neighbor's open garage across the street. Maybe he's working on something in the garage and dropped something really, really big. Scared the crap out of me. I'm awake. Where was I? Oh, I was talking about the serpent thing. But I'm usually the one that's like, let's just go for the straightforward and call it done. And that's mainly because, for one, I don't like gore. If I watch a horror movie, it's like psychological or Scream. Scream is not very gory compared to a lot of other horror movies. Like, yeah, it has its gory moments, like, spoiler alert if you've never seen the. What the fuck is that? Is someone setting off fireworks? Because I've been hearing poppers, but they realize it's the first week of June, not July. Oh, maybe he's exploding basketballs. Why is he exploding basketballs? I don't fucking know. Nice waking the whole neighborhood up, jerk. All I see, I heard two big booms, and I just see him walking back into the garage, rolling a basketball. I think he overinflated two of his basketballs and just let him explode on the pavement. Okay, now, nope, that was a firework. You guys realize it's July. Not that I'm trying to harp on anybody's fun, but you're a month early on the boom booms, and you're gonna get the cops called on you. Not by me, but by somebody. I can't even tell where they're being set off at. Sounds like they're right out front here. I want to see them. I want to see them. Goodness. Okay, so it wasn't the neighbor across the street. It's somebody else that I can't see. But yeah, I've never been one for like super gory, super gross. Like, I don't like the Saw movies. Those are just over the top, not good. I liked Squid Games, but then again, those weren't very showy kills. It was just like, boom, dead. A little bit of blood. I just, my brain knows it's fake, but it also doesn't care that it's fake. How many times are those fireworks gonna scare me? I don't know. I'm prepared for the firework boom booms in July, not in June. but uh, but it's okay. I'm not gonna harp on their fun as long as they're being safe and don't set any of the houses on fire. Um, but so I'm not usually one to go for the super crazy like takeout kills in D&D. So I literally asked the DM. I'm like, two char two of the characters, I forget who, had already like, oh, Sarathu tried to slow the serpent with by turning the water to ice. That didn't work. The serpent just cut right through it. And then somebody else tried to put the serpent to sleep, which it resisted. So I was like, it was my turn, right? And I was like, I have a crazy idea. I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to do it, but it would be so cool. And they were like, what's your idea? Hit me. And I said, could I have Yuki turn into a tiny Hulk only to turn into something really big in its stomach and tear her way out of it? And everybody else was like, rule of cool, let her do it, rule of cool. And I'm like, I didn't think anybody would let me do that. I didn't want to like steal the spotlight or be too OP, but everybody was like so down for it because it was one of the biggest like shock value kills that I decided to go for. And the DM was like, you know what? Go for it because you're the only one that decided to do anything damage wise. And if somebody doesn't do something, this ship is going down. So she did. And he even let me, because my dragon transformation is saved for like special occasions, like Yuki's just had enough and her emotions get too out of control, kind of like the Avatar state in Avatar The Last Airbender. Can you tell I really love that show? Legend of Korra was such a letdown and such a what the heck was that ending. I still own the whole series because I bought it because I knew I liked Avatar. I bought the whole series to Korra before I even saw it. But kind of like the Avatar state in The Last Airbender, it's supposed to be like things are getting heavy, emotions are running high, she's hit a breaking point. It's supposed to be that kind of thing. So the DM was like, I was just thinking I turn into a serpent myself and explode out of the other serpent. Just something big enough to rip my way out of the serpent. Because my dragon form is a huge dragon. It's like a big dragon. Even when she was on the map the first time Yuki transformed, the my dragon form made everybody else look tiny. Even the giant monsters. So so the DM was like, tell you this, tell you what. Give me a solid reason why Yuki would transform into her dragon form in this moment. And if you can give me a good enough reason, you can do it. And I said, well, let's see. Her friends were just attacked. She watched two people she tried to save be killed by her supposed teammate for unknown reasons. And now, for like the fourth time in a row, the place that she called home is being threatened to be destroyed. And Nick was like, yeah, that's a valid reason for a crash out. I give you that. Go for it. So she just went headlong into that, just dove down the serpent's neck the second it roared, went from tiny hawk to huge dragon and just clawing and ripping and tearing her way out of it, and then ate it when she was done, and then went to shower or bathe in a bucket or however they do that on the ship. But I was like, thank you for letting me do that. I'm telling the group, thank you for letting me do that. And they were like, no, no worries, that was badass. But D&D is so fun to me because, like, I know it sounds so lame and nerdy and just stupid, but I love to read. My childhood dream before I realized how corrupted and disgusting Hollywood is was to be an actress, not for the fame or the money or the glory, but because I love books. I love books. I love to read. And I thought it would be so much fun to help bring those stories into reality and take them from words on a page to an actual world that people can see. And so, being someone that likes to read, likes to write, and wanted to act, D&D is a good mixture of all of that. And with the added fun of I don't know the ending. Because, for example, when I write a story for myself, when I write a story that I'm writing a book right now, I don't know when I'm going to finish it. I haven't been working on it the past few days. I've been a little busy. But you when you're writing a story yourself, when you're writing a book, you know the ending. Like you know the beginning and you know the end. Things might morph, change, and shift in the story to sound better to the reader, but you already know where the story is going to end. There's no excitement for you in that because you know the outcome you want. But for things like D&D, even if you're the one DMing the story, Your players could change the outcome so much that even you don't know where the story could end up. And as a player, you certainly don't know the DM's plan because you're not allowed to know that until he or she wants you to know that. So there's this excitement to it. And on top of that, you have to hit those emotional moments. You have to make the characters be in the moment. You have to joke when they want to joke. You have to be angry when you want your characters to be angry. So you get the acting of it too. And it's just a game that's fun to play with friends. And yes, it is a game. It has game pieces, it has maps, it has health scores and stats, it has dice rolls. It's a game. It's just a board game that is mainly played in the mind. But that's what makes D&D so much fun for me is it kind of encompasses all of my hobbies. And even because it's a game, I like to game sometimes. Sometimes gaming ticks me off, as you guys have very well seen. I like to read and I like to write stories, and that's what we're doing. I like acting. I like hanging out with friends, and I like board games. So it all kind of, and even on the artistic side, I like art. I designed a whole sweatshirt for my team. Am I gonna get to make it into real shirts for me? I don't, for me and my team? I don't know. That would be so cool if I could make real sweatshirt for us, but our DM says play and find out so often when we ask him questions outside of story that I decided to design a hoodie based on his saying. So, which I'm pretty sure I showed you guys in one of these streams. So there's even art tied into it. It has all of my favorite hobbies rolled up into one. And it's so much fun. Like I know a lot of people think, oh, D&D is so cheesy, da 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 da. Try it once. You might actually like it more than you think, even if you don't think you're a super nerdy person. It's just a fun time. And I'm so excited to see where the story is going. How long have I been? I've been streaming for an hour and 25 minutes, and I haven't even gotten to the reading part of the stream. I didn't think talking about D&D was going to take me this long. But I'm getting more and more tired as time goes on because I have not gotten a lot of sleep the past 3 days. And I was out on a bike ride from 11 o'clock till almost 4 today. Probably not the best idea. I'm already tired as heck. But I did it. So, I think I'm gonna hop off. But yeah, I cannot wait to see where the story goes. And I cannot wait to keep you guys going. So, I guess these are like my weekly D&D streams. So, tune in to the next part of the story next week. To be continued. D&D Adventures story time in the next Sunday stream. Bye, guys. Bye.